Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. Very bored, so I thought I'd check in, see how everyone is doing. Just in Coventry at the moment. So yeah, what's going on? I wanted to take a chance to do this video as well, just to, for the last time address. I'm not really gonna do any videos about the TV show again, but yeah. I want to, on the show, I had there's a little thing I said that was very popular called a little phrase that I became more popular than expected, where I said, "When in doubt, don't be a dick." Now, I've been quiet about a couple of things. Now, before the show started, a lot of people were very critical of the show and what the show was gonna do. Now, I want to give you guys a little. It's one of the reasons why I am proud to be a Muslim, right? When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was kicked out of Mecca, he was sent to Medina. So those of you who are non-Muslim, the early Muslims got kicked out of Mecca and sent to Medina because obviously, I'll answer your question, AK. I'm going to finish the story first because I think it's very important for people to understand this, because too many people have negative attitudes in our community, right? So the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and his companions were kicked out of Mecca because they taught that all men were equal and that all human beings were equal. And the first followers of Islam were women and the wretched in society, the slaves, and so on. Yeah. So they got kicked to Medina. Muslims got sent to Medina by pagans because the pagans did not like the fact that they couldn't profit from slavery. Because Muslims, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, taught people that human beings were meant to be on equal footing, and all men were born equal, all women were born equal, except what is in their heart. So your piety is what sets you up. Now, the first place the Muslims went to was a neighboring country called Abyssinia, which is basically East Africa. Well, most of Saudi Arabia is East Africa, as far as I'm concerned. But that's a debate for another day. But yeah, the Muslims went to Abyssinia, to the Negus or Najasi at that time, and they were protected by Christians. And eventually the Muslims fled to a place called Medina to Nabi, which is the city of the Prophet in English. And even there, Muslims were tortured and Muslims were attacked. They had embargoes placed on them, and Muslims died of starvation and sickness because they didn't get enough food and drink to survive. Now, this is one of the things that I think has remained consistent in Islam. Muslims may be weak, but Islam is strong, and I'll show you how. As if it wasn't enough for people to place embargoes so that Muslims couldn't get medicine and food and water, right? The pagans from Mecca then attacked Medina. They continuously attacked Medina again and again and again. I believe 31 or 30 attacks, 30 wars, and the Muslims, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam fought about 29 of these wars. Now, Muslims would be outnumbered 10 to 1, 9 to 1. 3 to 1. And the more they attacked the Muslims, the stronger the Muslims grew. The more people who hate Muslims attacked the Muslims, the stronger they grew, to the point where neighboring tribes started joining the Muslims because they thought, surely these people must be with God. These people must be with God, because every time we attack them, they get stronger. Now, let's fast forward. By the way, these people, most of the wars happened during Ramadan, when Muslims were tired, hungry, and weak. But the Muslims always won, except for the one time the Muslims lost. Yeah, when Khalid ibn Walid led an army, and the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was blindsided, right? And then the only person to ever defeat Muslims became a Muslim himself and went on to be known as the Sword of Islam, right? Sorry, I'm not a sheikh, so, forgive me if you don't like my storytelling method when it comes to Islam. But this pattern has remained the same in the history of Islam up until modern times. You look at the Crusades. Muslims have been divided into Sunni and Shia. We disagree. The Crusaders came into Palestine when Muslims were completely divided. They slaughtered Muslims, they slaughtered Christians, they slaughtered Jews. What did that do? It united Muslims. Muslims came together and they kicked the Crusaders out. You look at the Mongols. The Mongols came and wiped out Muslims, wiped them out and drank wine from their skulls. Then they read the Quran and they became Muslim. You look at 9/11, which led to, the war on terror, which led to a lot of anti-Muslim rhetoric. What happens? are skyrocketing, the amount of people who take Shahada. And the places where people took Shahada the most in America were the places where people hated Muslims the most, Texas. And the group of people who were becoming Muslim the quickest were the group of people that everyone assumed would be least interested in Islam, white women, because obviously Islam is supposed to be this misogynistic faith. So what I'm saying is this. People think, oh my God, Muslims went on TV and they're going to embarrass themselves. Now, let me make this clear. I know one of the producers of the show. Sorry, I just had a call mid. But yeah, Muslims, like I was saying, I lost my train of thought. Muslims have constantly been attacked, and every time we're attacked, we benefit. Now, I know one of the producers of the show, and he had genuine interest, but you have to understand the way media works. Okay, people are saying, oh, we don't like this Muslim and that Muslim. They're not going to put Zakir Naik, Abdurrahim Green, and Al Jamaiki on the same TV show. You know, they're not going to get a bunch of alims. You know why? Because most Muslims are not alims. That's the truth. You guys want to see the Sahaba on TV representing Muslims, but you're not the Sahaba yourselves. Out of a people, do the rulers come? Out of the people, do your representatives come? And honestly, who can say that they don't know anybody on the TV show that's like one of us? Be honest. How many of you are the examples you would like to see on TV? So when you guys say, oh, when you guys complain about the kind of Muslims you see representing you in the media, ask yourself, what kind of Muslim are you? You know, people, I think Muslims want a perfect society and they want to see Islam flourish without making Islam flourish in their own lives and their own hearts first. You know, so you've got people complaining that, oh, these Muslims are not the right kind of Muslims. No Muslim is the right kind of Muslim. There will always be somebody who has a weakness and a failing. The TV program was meant to show us as we truly are. The TV program was meant to show us as humans, flawed but good, right? Now, I'm not going to pretend that I liked everybody on the show, because I didn't. I did not. But even the worst examples of Muslims on that show, I'm sure probably had some good qualities about them. Now, as much as you guys want to call the show a circus, let's be realistic. When have you ever watched TV and everybody on TV was perfect? It had to be entertaining. If it was a bunch of perfect Muslims on the show, nobody would have watched it. Nobody would have watched it. But, you know, it was entertaining. That is why people watched it. And it's the same thing when people complain about people like me, who, for example, did stand-up comedy. You know, you don't like the fact that I do comedy, but alhamdulillah, I'm with Imran Yusuf, I'm with Tez Ilyas, I'm with Amir Rahman, I'm with more Amir from America. You know, I'm with all these guys. I'm with Guzi Khan right now. We're doing a comedy tour, and so far we've helped raise over £200,000 for Syria. What have you done sitting down in your house dissing us? What have you done? I'm not even putting you on the spot. I'm being genuine. Like, if you want to hate man, and if you want to dislike us, go ahead. But at least show me what you are doing that is better. Because that's the problem we have in the Muslim community. We're quick to label things as haram. We're quick to label things as makruh. We're quick to condemn people, right? We're quick to call people extreme and say that they're pushing ghulu. But when we say these things, we don't offer an alternative. We're quick to tell our children, don't watch that, it's haram. But what halal thing do you do to replace, what thing do you replace for your children? What thing do you do when you take away something that your child enjoys that you believe is haram? What halal do you give them? Nothing. We're too quick to condemn and will not offer solutions. Half the people on there who complain about the TV show complain because they thought the show was bad. Well, my inbox, you know, has been full of non-Muslims approaching us, asking me for explanations of Islam because they live in parts of the UK where there are no Muslims. Had we not done this TV show, I'm not saying they wouldn't have seen Muslims, but the fact is Allah has used that avenue to reach somebody. And that's the thing I'm saying. Even if, and this TV show was not an attack on Muslims. You guys need to understand how television works, okay? It was not an attack on Muslims. It was an entertaining show in which some positives were hidden. That's the way you have to look at it. So you complain about comedy because we're not standing on stage giving a khutbah. Well, it's comedy. But even through comedy, we educate people. The same thing through reality TV. Whatever avenue, Allah has put me in a position where, look, I'm not a scholar, but I'm in a position where I can influence people in my own way. And I do the best I can with my means and my talent and my personality to influence people how I can. Now, instead of sitting down at home complaining, why don't you get off your ass and do something? You know, if you're a hafiz of Quran, that's brilliant. But what good is it if it's only the Quran doesn't go further than your house? It doesn't go further than your roof. You are an alim. You have knowledge of deen. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. You know Islam very well. But your Islam is just in your house. Or better still, you know Islam very well, but you only use Islam as a means to condemn people who aren't like you. What's the point of your Islam? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not sent to righteous people. The Arabs were the worst of people. So you guys are complaining that, oh, I was in a house with a gay guy and so on that drinks. Yes, you're goddamn right I was. You guys are more offended about the fact that there was a gay guy on TV, but you've got family members who commit shirk. Shirk is worse. You've got people in your family that commit shirk. You don't say anything, but you want to complain because you've seen a guy who's gay. I'm not saying I condone it, but let's be real. Let's be real. That gay guy isn't pushing people away from Islam. Muslims like you are. That's the truth. So, I'm just trying to say, instead of being negative, like any other community, if it was a Hindu program and there was a non-practicing Hindu but still did something to promote Hinduism, Hindus would be happy. If there was a non-practicing Sikh who didn't take Amrit, who isn't wearing a turban and whatnot, and he did something good for Sikhism, Sikhs would be like, okay, well, at least he's promoting Khalsa, at least he's promoting Sikhism in his own way. But when we have a Muslim could heal the sick. A Muslim could find the cure for cancer. And other Muslims would criticize him because his trousers aren't folded up high enough. Shame on you guys. Yeah? So, criticize the comedy. But if you've got a way that you can raise 200 or 300 grand for Syria and Palestine within a month, I'd like to hear your suggestions. Criticize Islam, but at the end of the day, criticize us for going on this TV show. At the end of the day, somebody in Ireland contacted me who's never met a Muslim in his life, born into a Catholic family. He wants to know more about Islam. Now, if he alone is the only person that benefited from that program, I still say, you know what? If I was asked to do that program again, I would do it again. If it means only one person looks into Islam, even if he doesn't become a Muslim, just for the fact that there's one other person, because Allah says, even if you only know one ayah, you go out and you preach, you go out and you talk to people about his religion. So, wallahi billah, I'm telling you now, if I got given an opportunity to do it again, and they put me in a house with 9 homosexuals and 8 racists, yeah, so be it. If I know that I will be given a chance to speak about Islam, and people who have never heard about Islam will hear it, I will hear it. If the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam could endure abuse and have rubbish thrown at him and stones thrown at him and be thrown into battle, then why will I refuse to go into a house simply because did people not slander the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was preaching? They slandered him. He still went out and preached, and eventually the good that he said came to people. So why am I going to refuse to go on TV because I might be slandered? Yes, I was slandered. Well, I wasn't slandered. People took the wrong idea. And there's another thing. You guys are watching a TV show, or you see, even you Muslims that are supposed to know better, forget about the non-Muslims. You watch the TV show, look at the footage that was on the show. You see I convinced a whole group of people to go out and feed the poor in the name of Islam. But you're all getting at me because I lost my temper, supposedly over some onions. It wasn't just that. But even if it was just onions that made me angry, can't you overlook that because I did good on the show and I influenced other people to do good? No, you look for the first opportunity to tear down a brother. And then tomorrow, when there's no Muslims on TV and nobody's represented at all, the same people complaining will say that there's nothing. Honestly, as a community, you guys need to fix up. And, if you're not doing anything for the community, if you're not doing anything that benefits Islam, then shut up. And that's not me being rude, that's the truth, because you make us look foolish. The Prophet, exactly, there's a Sikh brother even saying the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam set a great example for us to live. And another thing is this, how often, if you look at the way the Prophet Muhammad lived his life, and I'm not comparing myself to him, I'm just saying, he didn't spend all his time just preaching to people. He set an example by how he lived. When people ask Aisha, how did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam do this and that? She never says, oh, he used to say. She would say, look, he did this and he did that. We know him by his actions. He was a doing man. He was an action man. Yeah, our Prophet was an action man. Are you an action person, or are you just on Facebook sharing memes? Are you just on Facebook sharing articles thinking that you're changing the world? I'll tell you something, you're not. Oh, as with boy, I don't know. I mean, he is married. Allahu alam, is haram to suspect, but yeah, quite a few people think that he was that way inclined based on the TV show. But you know, you never know. He might have just been doing it for the camera. Some guys, some guys are very comfortable with their sexuality, and they crack jokes like that. You know, peace from the quad. That's funny. But yeah, that's what I'm saying now. So I think Muslims need to stop being reactive and be more proactive. You need to get up and go out there and do something. You know, at the end of the day, I utilized the opportunity that was given to me. Exactly, a man of Allah is always a man of action. You know, I don't think there's any prophet, that lived his life just talking and didn't get up and do things. An important aspect of Islam is action, and not just action, action and intention. So there's people who even they act, but then they do it for the camera, they do it for the name and whatnot. Honestly, I don't care if you guys hate me, but I want you to hate me for the right reason. Wa alaikum salam, bro. How you doing? You alright? Yeah, so if you're gonna hate me for the truth, But I just think it's a very harmful thing that's killing our community. We're not active enough. We don't go out and do things. We just want to sit down and complain. We want to write letters to the BBC and complain. We don't want to go out, because at the end of the day, if Muslim media was that good, we wouldn't need to go on the BBC. But there's very few Muslim media outlets that are credible. Alhamdulillah, the training's been good. I'm currently on tour right now, so I haven't been able to train as much as I want to. I dislocated my shoulder preparing for a grappling tournament a while back, and obviously my Kali and Silat stuff, I still try and train. I didn't take my sticks with me for this tour though, brother. Abdulazim, when are you in the UK, man? I wanna see you in that. But yeah, I don't think in the history of television on British TV there has ever been someone like me for that long on camera. I don't think it's ever happened. I don't think, and this is not me bragging, but like how many, you guys say we weren't represented, apart from the boys from Cage, how many people have you seen as real on me, as real as me on TV that were Muslim? I'll check my WhatsApp, inshallah. Sorry, man. You'll be there in 6 months? Say nothing, man. You're welcome to my house, man. When you come in, we'll have a nice Nigerian meal. But yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah, the Amir Khan impression of the Abdul Haq impression of Amir Khan was hilarious. Now, there was a lot of humor, and even that humor, all the jokes that were on the show, it was a form of da'wah as well. People need to see us Muslims laughing. People need to see us joke. People need to see us play with our kids. It's not always every day talking. I mean, there's plenty of videos and things of angry Muslims burning effigies in Pakistan and all over the world. Sometimes maybe it's nice for there to be a TV show showing quirky Muslims that like comic books and used to listen to Metallica, So I'm just trying to say, you guys need to, not you guys on my page, because, people on my page are awesome. But if you could share this, that would be great. People need to be more positive. I've realized that I've been slacking when it comes to making videos and stuff. So I'm going to try and do these little live videos more often. Maybe, what do you guys think? Once a week, twice a week, randomly like I've been doing so far? To be fair, I'm doing this right now because I'm bored. Nothing else matters. Sorry, it's for the non-Metallica fans. But yeah, look how wavy I am, bro. Look at them waves. You can't really see them in this light, man. I'm wavy right now. But yeah, people, we need to really understand how powerful Islam is. That posh dude, hell, I don't even know. I didn't know people like that existed, man. I didn't even know, man. But yeah, people, Islam is a beautiful thing. Let me tell you a story. This is a story that I heard Zakir Naik telling someone. There were two shops opposite each other on the street. And one of them, wa alaikum salam, Shazia. So one of these shops sold vinegar and the other shop sold candy, right? Now, the shop that sold candy did not do well. The shop that sold vinegar did. And eventually, the shop that sold candy had to close down. So on the day that the shop that sold candy was closing down, the man who owned the candy shop, who was generally quite a bitter, angry person anyway, went across the road to the person who sold vinegar, and he asked the person who sold vinegar, how can you sell vinegar and make more money than me that sells candy. Vinegar is disgusting, it's sour, it's bitter. Candy is sweet. So how can I sell vinegar? How can you sell vinegar and do better than me at business than a person that sells candy? And the guy that sold vinegar said, it's simple, my friend. I sell vinegar with a candy face. You sell candy with a vinegar face. Deep story, no? What it is you could have the best product in the world. You could have the best religion in the world. But if you as a person are not likable, if you as a person are not approachable, if you as a person are not positive, if you as a person are not someone that people can sit down and talk to and like, that product that you're pushing, it's not going to sell. That Islam that you've got is not going to sell. People aren't going to like it. Think about it. We watch TV shows about vampires and devils and demons and root for the devils and demons in these programs because they're marketed to look nice. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie. I watch Vampire Diary and I enjoy it. I watch Arrow. Arrow is a murderer. Batman is a madman and a serial killer, right? These guys are crazy. But the way they're shown, the way that we're shown makes these people look great. We watch programs like Mickey Mouse. A mouse is the most disgusting animal to ever find in your house. But our children, or Peppa Pig, Khanzir, pig. Can you imagine? Alede, a pig. Yeah? You would never want to see a pig in your house. But I bet you if you got children, they love Peppa Pig. Why? Because of how they've been presented. It's the same thing with Islam. You guys present Islam as this angry cult, this angry, hateful, and when I say you guys, not you commenting, but just in general, we present Islam as this angry, hateful thing that can't be fun, that can't be loving, that can't be accepting. And then you wonder why nobody wants Islam, you know? And then it's like, you want to show that the Ummah, that Islam is united. You did a bad job at it when we got put on TV, you know, because if the Ummah was truly united, everybody would be happy. Oh, look, there's Muslims on TV, let's watch. But no, before the show was even on, people started complaining. Now look, I've had, alhamdulillah, some people have turned around and said, you know what, we were wrong. There were some good representatives on the program. But for the most part, man, people just need to lighten up a bit. And I don't mean bleach, because bleach is bad. Stay dark. Black is beautiful. So yeah. Thank you, Arda. I appreciate that. Exactly. You know, we never get represented on TV. And like, you know, you guys should say alhamdulillah. Like, we did the job that some of you don't have to do. So now, by the way, look how cool my t-shirt is, bruv. Go on, tell me my t-shirt's haram. But yeah, my wife got me that as well. But yeah. But yeah, you know, people as Muslims will never be happy. We'll never ever be happy. You know, one guy said there's not enough Asians on TV on the program. 6 out of 10 is not enough. You know, people said that I was too liberal in one episode. The next episode, they said that I was too aggressive. I was too this. I was too that. Subhanallah, man. People will never learn. People will never be happy. Anyway, yeah, please, going forward, try and be more positive. Sure you can. Try and be more positive. Try and contribute. Don't be a unit of consumption. Be a unit of production. Go out and do things. Remember that Islam is a religion of people who are productive and who did things and who acted upon things. Remember, even at the beginning of the show, I quoted a hadith. Yeah, Facebook Live is free mixing. Some people are watching this now and getting pregnant. Astaghfirullah, I beg. My wife is watching this. Don't get me in trouble. But yeah, you know, we've got flipping so many amazing examples of the Sahaba, and we just don't do it. There's so many interesting stories. There's so many interesting stories that we have. There's so many interesting philosophies, but people don't even know that about Islam. Why? Because we're too busy arguing with each other about random stuff. Oh, you need to fold this. Oh, you didn't use your miswak. I'm not saying these things are important, but come on, man. Not everyday fights. Sometimes chill, you know? Anyway, what's going on, people? You good? In a short while, I'm going to be heading to do my gig in Coventry. I hope to see some of you there. In any case, I'm going to head off now. Oh, Devante, you're just joining now. Exactly. I don't know about Abdul Haq being autistic. It might be possible. Who knows? You know what I mean? He is quite an eccentric character, but I make dua for him because, believe it or not, when you sat down and talked to the guy one on one, he was actually a really cool guy. I think what I want to say is that yeah, yeah. It's true. Many Muslims always want to point out the haram someone is doing. You know why I think people do that? I think people like to overreact about things because it makes them feel more important. You know, people are at home and, you know, they've got a bullshit job. Their wives aren't attracted to them anymore. Their kids don't respect them. They've got all these problems in their life, you know, and then they look at you and they think, you know what, I'm better than this guy because, you know, my beard is bigger than his. I'm better than this guy because I pray more often than he does. And most of the time, they might be wrong about that person. Like, for example, a lot of you don't know this. That sister on the program, Mehreen, the one that had the long hair, that, you know, the one with the dyed blonde hair, the young Asian girl, never missed a prayer. She prayed. She fasted. She just didn't dress. There's many sisters that wear the abaya, wear the hijab, even niqab, and don't pray salah. Do you know that when I was in that house, when I did the cleaning and all that in that house, you guys don't believe this, she was always there to make sure that I had a helping hand when I was cooking. That girl had more manners than most of the people in that house, but she wasn't a hijabi. There was a time I fell ill in the house. I was dehydrated. I was sick. She would make sure that somebody brought me tea or somebody brought me water. Do you see what I'm saying? So, you know, and she used to come and she used to sit down. She wouldn't mix with us. She'd sit on one side of the room, yeah, and listen to the Syrian brother read Quran and then ask him questions about the verses of Quran that he read. How many sisters that wear hijab do that? How many? You know, she said that, look, growing up, she wasn't taught these things, and now she has an interest. She wants to learn. So many people will look at her and judge her because of how she dressed, but subhanallah, look, I can't tell you that she's not a practicing Muslim. No, the blonde sister that did the yoga is the older one, Naila. She was fruitier than fruitcake, man. She was fruitier, nuttier than squirrel shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, may Allah guide her. May Allah guide her. She's got a video calling me a savage, by the way. She doesn't like the fact that a lot of people think that she's racist. Why is it that racists never like being called racist? Surely it's something you'd be proud of. But yeah, you know, people need to be less judgmental because you could be wrong about someone. You could be very wrong. You know, a lot of people just saw the program, saw me, and just assumed I wasn't going to be practicing. You know, don't know me personally, but just assume because I'm not Desi and I don't have a massive beard, I can't be a Muslim. You know, how many times have I heard you don't look like a Muslim? So yeah, just remember, yeah, Mehreen she was a class act when she was dealing with the Muslims because they were saying horrible things, and she took it well. She took it well. And you know, it's a huge responsibility, man. You know, you're away from your family for 10 days, you're on camera. You know, it's people don't understand. Muslims are in the public eye. Honestly, the pressures are very, very strong. You know, it's a lot of pressure when you have to deal with people and remember that you're a Muslim. Fancied Abdul Haq. I don't know about that. No comment. But you know, who knows? Maybe she did. You know, and the thing is, that just shows even somebody that isn't necessarily upon the Sunnah. If somebody who isn't necessarily, you know, your conviction can attract people to you who are the opposite of you. You know, if you are strong in your belief, somebody who doesn't even believe in your beliefs can respect you, and through that, then begin to respect your beliefs. You know, if you are really strong in your religion, somebody can be like, you know what, for this religion to produce a person like this, it must be a good religion. And then, you know, they look into it. So there's always that. You know? But yeah, they're good people though. They're all good people. Yeah, Abdul Haq was very likable, man. Very, very likable guy. And a very funny guy as well. You know, him and I caught so much joke on that program that if they put the clips of me and Abdul Haq laughing together alone, you could make a 1 hour episode. Or two episodes. It could have just been the adventures of. There's so many funny stories I can tell you about. Like when me and Abdul Haq went to one masjid. me and him. We went to a masjid. I was like, please let nobody talk to this guy. Please let nobody talk to this guy. They were gonna launch the masjid, like they were opening it. It was a beautiful masjid in New York. I think Sister Redjuana, I think it's her family that owns the masjid. But yeah, he flipping we went there, and then the president of the masjid tells us that they're doing a fundraising thing. Yeah, they were doing a fundraising thing the next day, and they say, okay, who's coming? And then the guy says that some guy, was it Lord something, Lord Sadiq or whatever, and I was like, oh God, please, Abdul Haq, shut up, Abdul Haq, shut up, Abdul Haq. But he couldn't control himself. Do you know that these people are Taghut? And and they must bow to the divine text because Islam does not recognize people with titles. And the guy was like, they're just coming. I was like, but they're just coming to the event. No, I have to tell the man the haq. I have to tell. And he gives this poor guy an earful for like 20 minutes. And the guy just standing there smiling, saying, mashallah, brother. It might not be funny to you, but honestly, if you were there, it was like, you could see, when like, even when Farhan was saying he was gay, like, I could see the sparks in Abdul Haq's head just going, zzz, 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 zzz. The guy told him, he said, Aki, he said he was looking for a wife. What kind of boy was he looking for, man? Oh shit. Man said I thought he was looking for a wife. How could that guy be looking for a wife, man? For a wife with an Adam's apple? Shit. How could he not know that the guy was gay? As soon as I came into the house, I looked at everybody and I knew who they were straight away. I was like, I saw Manny. I was like, he's the freshie, because only a freshie would dress that way. He spoke to me, he's like, hey, I'm Manny. I'm like, yep. I saw Mehreen. I thought, probably a fashionista. I saw Sabah. I was like, great, the middle class, white, revert, brilliant. We've got one of those. I thought the Syrian brother was German. I'm not gonna lie. I saw Humaira. I was like, yeah, she's probably a feminist, judging by the way she's dressed. She looks like one of those fight for my rights kind of sisters, you know. And then this guy comes up to me, hi, I'm Farhan. Which wife? Which wife is he looking for? Get out of here, man. Yeah, real talk, you know. I think he might be. I think Abdul Haq might be autistic for real. If he didn't know, he was like, "How was I supposed to know?" I'm like, dude, the guy was dancing around, singing with like a makeshift hijab on his head, like. Oh God. Oh God. Porra, caralho. Sorry, guys. Honestly, it's just. And then, apparently, the girls went to go and play a game called, is it Shag, Marry, Avoid, or Snog, Marry, Avoid? And they were telling us about it later. They were telling us that they said when his name came up, Farhan said he'd marry him. He was like, yeah, I'd marry Abdul Haq. We wouldn't even have to talk to each other. We fight every day. But I'd still be with him because I'm messed up like that. When they told Abdul Haq, Abdul Haq was like, SubhanAllah. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Sorry, the laughter. I need to lie down after that, man. The laughter's killing me. Man said he'd marry Abdul Haq. That's proof that opposites attract, innit? Oh, God. Anyway, guys, I need to go and prepare for my show and call my wife. So, yeah, just look up the dates on our tour, the Muslim comedy tour. We've still got tomorrow, I'm in Leicester. The day after that, I'm in Birmingham, then Swansea, then Cardiff. So, you know, there's quite a few places. Buy your tickets. We're raising money for Syria and Gaza. Assalamu alaikum.